Gorgeous Godzilla, and I'm checking in for my VSG post-op week 6 update. Before I begin today, I just wanted to take the opportunity to apologize in advance because I am probably going to be all over the place today. But I guess I've had a lot of things going on that really have very little to do with my weight loss surgery. As most of you probably don't know, but I work for The Man, which is also the country's largest employer, which to my shock and amazement all the time is not Walmart, coincidentally. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I, One Gorgeous Godzilla, am a peon in the government neon. And if you have been watching the news lately, you know that we are all under the great government shutdown. And as a result, I'm not working. So that's been a point of stress and some consternation to me these past couple of days, because I am a single woman, I live alone, and I have maintenance and upkeep. I don't know how else to say that, but yeah, I have maintenance and upkeep. I have my cleaning lady. Since the surgery, I have a personal trainer now. In fact, I am one personal chef away from having the modern day equivalent of Downton Abbey in my mind anyway. And I don't want any of my people to go, but I don't know if I can continue to pay these people for stuff that I could very well do myself, but I am usually entirely too lazy to do. But that is not why you watch me. We're here to talk about my progress. So let's get to the stats, shall we? I feel like a broken record every time I say this, but for those of you who don't know, I started my weight loss journey with my highest weight being 259 pounds. On the date of surgery, which was on August 19th, 2013, I weighed 248 pounds. And today I weigh 228 pounds. But wait, you may say, isn't that what you weighed last week? And I would say, that's right. That's what it said. 228 pounds. Depending on when I get on the scale, it may be I've lost 0.3 or I weigh exactly what I did last week. I am not disappointed. Okay, slightly disappointed, but I'm not upset about it because I figure stalls are a natural part of my progression. So I'm going to take it for what it is and keep working my program as best I can. I feel like I'm losing inches, but my scale is not necessarily reflecting that at the present time. But as some of you all may know, in addition to my progress, I also try to at least educate you guys on something. And my topic for today is going to be the negatives of VSG surgery, gastric sleeve surgery, or this may be applicable to bariatric surgery in general, I don't know. But the negatives that I found thus far since my surgery. If this is your first time watching this, I want to say watch another video first and then come back to this one, because I feel like this is a sad representation of me, and my subject matter to me is just it probably qualifies as too much information. But those of you all that watch me regularly, I view our relationship as a partnership. And your job as a viewer is to encourage me, discourage me, but you know, give me your thoughts and your reactions to what's going on. My job is to be honest and forthright and to say it like I mean it about the good, the bad, and the ugly aspects of what's going on with me. So with that being said, some of these things may be, yeah, just entirely too revealing, or things that I probably wouldn't discuss otherwise, but in the interest of being honest and forthright, I have to share these things with you. So, my list of the negatives thus far. Let us begin. Number 1 is, drum roll, constipation. Yeah, I said it, constipation. Before the surgery, I viewed constipation as an occasional thing, but I have found after the surgery that constipation is pretty much present all the time, particularly if my water intake is not what it should be. And the more I sat and thought about it, I can sort of see how constipation could become an issue when it wasn't previously. More so because our diets after surgery place an emphasis on getting in adequate amounts of protein. So as a result of that, I take in great quantities of protein, but in the beginning I did very little with respect to vegetables or roughage or anything like that that may facilitate your digestive system. So yes, I found that maintaining adequate lubrication, if you will, or fluid intake is very helpful in minimizing my chances of having repeated issues of constipation. Part of my day, I always drink at least 1 or 2 protein shakes every day. And several times a week, I add this stuff to it. It's called MCT oil, but I add like a spoonful or so. And MCT oil has like a really long name, but it's made from coconut oil. And I bought this not on the suggestion of my doctor or my nutritionist, but from actually Dr. Oz before the surgery. Before the surgery, when I was just trying to lose weight, he did a show on, you know, things that he felt really were fat burners, you know, and he mentioned this oil. So I went out like a dummy and bought this big old bottle. And I don't throw money away, so I'm going to use this oil, but I found that it's also helpful in keeping my pipes properly lubricated, as crazy as that may sound. So I think it also is beneficial in helping me not only to burn fat, because I sure got a lot of it, but also in keeping, you know, the works running, and to keep things regular and smooth, and to prevent any issues that may arise in that respect. Okay, negative number 2, as if constipation wasn't enough, is gas. If you can tell by my you know, accent, I'm from the South, and Southerners, we are a unique breed of people. Regardless of race, regardless of socioeconomic status, we are just unique. There is nobody like Southerners to me. I love us. I love Southerners dearly. I am one, for goodness sake. But I was always taught that ladies, and we'll save the conversation for what is a lady versus a woman for another day, but ladies don't fart. That was instilled in me as a child. We may break wind, we may pass gas, my personal favorite, we pooped. But only under the most dire of circumstances should any of those things occur, especially in mixed company. So as a result, I've cultivated muscles that are like Fort Knox. I really honestly think my internal organs would collapse from the internal pressure before I would just let one loose anywhere. So it is like, to my constant shock and amazement, what has happened after the surgery. Because the word break wind or poot is too polite and gentle a word to describe the hurricane gale force winds that are going on all over here. Ridiculous. I have had the loudest and longest farts of my life. Like, seriously. It is a shame that this superpower is wasted on one such as myself. Because if you were to put me in a room with like 10, 13-year-old, 14-year-old, any teenage guy, I swear to you, I could fart him under a table. No lie. But what's weird is that they don't smell. They smell like nothing. But you would think I am like, I don't know, like some kind of horrible teenage joke or something, because this farting is ridiculous. So, yeah, I'm a fart factory. I'm a fart factory now. I never thought that, but that is basically, yeah, what it is. Negative number 3 would be what I call destination desire. I don't know if you know, but I'm still fat. I've had surgery, but I'm still very much overweight for my height. I'm 5 feet 2 inches tall. I don't think I've ever said that. But in my mind, I want this to be done. It seems like you have to go through so many doctor's visits. You do all of this research. You do a lot of things before you ever decide to have surgery. And then it still takes a while for you to actually have the surgery. And it seems like all that waiting, once you go through with it, you want it to be done. And it just doesn't work that way. I'm 228 pounds now. But in my mind, I am so fixated on being under 200, even if it's 199.99999, that my brain finds it hard to even appreciate that I've lost 30 pounds, if that makes any sense. I'm cognizant of it in a way, but it's like I just can't appreciate the progress for what it is, because my brain is still stuck on getting under 200, and I'm sure after that it'll be stuck on losing the rest of my weight and getting to goal weight. But it seems like everything along the way, it's wonderful, but it's like my brain just isn't appreciating that. And I don't know if that's a problem that lies in with me, probably so, but it's something that I just find negative. Because my weight loss progress, it's a progress. It's a process, not progress. It's a process. And I just want it to be like wham, bam, thin. And it's not like that. This one may be controversial to some, but it is a negative to me. And I can only speak for me, so there. But food is no longer my refuge. I think that's a negative for somebody like me who's an emotional eater, and that's what I am. For the longest, you would have thought that my brain believed that the answer to all of my problems was like at the bottom. Let me see. I'm having Wendy's chili for dinner. but like the answer to life's problems was somehow written in the bottom of like an ice cream bowl, and if I just ate it all, like the answer would be revealed under there. I hate to tell you, but I've eaten a lot of ice cream and I've never found. As I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, was I've never found the answer at the bottom of any ice cream bowl or any container of whatever it was that I was eating. I hate it. It is sad. And honestly, it's forced me to find other ways to deal with my emotional angst. I mean, heaven forbid I should ever deal with things by talking them out or finding some other way like normal adults do. I mean, that is practically unheard of for me. I mean, what will they come up with next? Like telephones that don't have cords or horseless carriages? I mean, that is just how foreign the concept is of dealing with difficult people or difficult issues on my very own. So it's a positive in a lot of ways, but also it's a negative because I thought I'd found a way to cope. It was called food, and now that avenue is basically gone. But again, that's a sign of progress, and I'm proud of that. Another issue that I think is a negative is saying goodbye to parts we like. My weight loss, I'm proud of it, but I will say it is not proportional as of right now. I am in extreme pear shape. If you saw one of my other videos, you know, extreme pear. And the first thing to go, you would think, would be part of this lower body where I have lots to lose. But oh no, no. That's too much like right. Of course it would be here and here and all these places that, you know, weren't that bad to begin with. And I know a lot of women that like their curves. Maybe not, you know, the size of them, but even I am fond of curves. I think that that's what makes women women. I like a, you know, it's that S curve and that all important jiggle. I love a jiggle. I'm a jiggling woman. So you know, I've heard people, you know, like, well girl, what you gonna do when you lose your butt? Or well girl, what you gonna do when you lose, you know, whatever it is that you like. I'm trying to be positive because I think in times past, I'm a pear, extreme pear. And usually when I've lost weight in the past, I've still been a pear. A smaller pear as opposed to an extra large pear, but it's like my basic shape typically in times past has remained the same. Albeit I was much younger, and I don't know if it'll be different when I'm older, but I've already mourned the loss of my breasts because I've had to go down some bra sizes already. And that was like the only positive thing about gaining weight, to be honest, was I suddenly became like voluptuous up top, more voluptuous up top. So that's something that's a negative, as well as loose skin and stretch marks, which you may also have to contend with, depending, I guess, upon your age. Because I guess younger skin has more elasticity than older skin. But the stretch marks, just the rate of loss or whatever, is something that is kind of cosmetic, but at the same time, I can't necessarily say, yay, stretch marks, woo-woo. Look at all the flabby, saggy skin, yay for that too. So, but those things, as well as hair loss, I think is a negative, albeit somewhat superficial, considering you're probably gaining all sorts of health benefits from the weight loss. There's some cosmetics things that I just don't think of as necessarily being the most positive. Okay. my last negative for the evening, I know this is probably a really long video too, is that this was actual serious surgery. People die from it. You can die. I don't know of anyone who's died, but people do. As part of my research into, you know, the surgery before I had it, I joined several like forums or, you know, lists or, you know, websites of people that, you know, are considering surgery, that are pre-op or post-op, just to find out more about it. And you make friends, or, you know, you correspond with people, and it seems like some people, you know, they have complications after surgery. Even if, you know, they didn't die, they may have developed a stricture, or maybe their sleeve is leaking, or maybe it's, you know, something happened and they have to have the gallbladder removed, which seems to be relatively common. But yeah, there are things that could go wrong. Even if you do all the right things, even if you research stuff, even if you go to the Sanjay Gupta of, you know, gastric sleeve surgery, you know, they may do everything right too, but for, you know, for whatever reasons, complications happen. I myself had one incision that developed some sort of infection and was like oozing green pus, which my doctor was afraid may be bile and related to some sort of leakage, which freaked me the hell out. But luckily it wasn't that. It was something, it was just an infection. It wasn't indicative of leak. But there are people that, and you see all sorts of horror stories, which I feel like is very scary, because it seems like more people have relatively simple, you know, procedures, or their recovery may be somewhat problematic that first week or two, but after that things are resolved. But then there are others who, for whatever reason, they may not be able to swallow, or, I mean, it's just, it's scary stuff. It's serious stuff. I would be remiss if I tried to poo-poo this. It's like some little everyday, oh, you just go in, you go out. No, things could happen. I knock on wood, I consider myself blessed and lucky that I haven't had any of those severe negative consequences, but again, it could happen. You could be the one in whatever, but hopefully you're not, because it seems like there are more people that don't have complications than that do. But that is everything for me today. If you have made it through the end of this video, pat yourself on the back, because you have excellent patience, because I don't think I was that interesting. But as if you're not ready to go already, I just wanted to thank everybody for subscribing or watching me these past couple of weeks. Whether you realize it or not, you're my support system, and I appreciate you taking the time out of your day. You have many choices on the interweb, but I'm glad you chose to spend some time with me. And thank you all again. And until next week, I'm just going to say goodbye for now. Bye.